They need to add to this rather than subtract to this. If they start this one-upmanship game, then whatever little gains they've made will be frittered away. So it's a real challenge for the political management skills of Akhilesh Yadav, Rahul Gandhi, and Priyanka Gandhi. It's one thing to expand your base, but collectively they can do better. Even at this stage, there's no political party which can alone take on the BJP. It has to be a combination. And if they want to give themselves a chance, then they need to hang in there together.
Okay, and I want to flip the question, and it's quite clear from all the signs that we've seen from within the Congress and by speaking to senior Congress leaders that Rahul Gandhi intends to retain Rai Bareli and give up Wayanad. And that will become formal in some time to come. Javed, do you think he's doing the right thing? Because in Rai Bareli and Amethi, which the Congress party won, they won also because of the dependence on the Samajwadi Party. So the Congress and the Samajwadi Party are tied at the hip. If you take the SP away for whatever reason, and we've seen alliances go erupt, then suddenly Rahul Gandhi in the next election is in Rai Bareli but without the SP. That can be very problematic. Is he doing the right thing, or do you think he could potentially be making a mistake by being so dependent on Akhilesh Yadav, who's beyond his control?
So there's one more good reason for Rahul Gandhi and for the Congress party to go along to ensure that this alliance thrives. I think leaving Rai Bareli now in the current context would be very bad optics for the Congress. The Congress has, come out from the ICU in Uttar Pradesh. Now they need to consolidate, and for that to happen, Rahul Gandhi has to be Rahul's preference. Earlier, I spoke to him 4 weeks ago. Then the situation was different, and nobody had an idea, and he didn't want to leave Wayanad. But now the ground realities have changed. They've surprised themselves with their performance in Uttar Pradesh. And therefore, and Sanjay ji's survey shows that Rahul's popularity has increased. In fact, as compared to Prime Minister Modi, many more people now want him to be the prime ministerial candidate.
But I asked Yashwant Deshmukh that same question. It's interesting that you point this out because both Yashwant and Sanjay ji are with us on the show. Yashwant Deshmukh, does your data show the same? Because Sanjay Kumar's data from Uttar Pradesh seems to suggest that Rahul Gandhi is ahead of Prime Minister Modi now in terms of popularity in Uttar Pradesh. If that's the case, in other polls as well, that would be a very big development. What's your data showing?
It depends on what is the wording. There are two questions in our tracker that we ask. One is an open-ended question, whom would you like to see as the Prime Minister as on today? And one is a direct question like a two-horse race between Rahul Gandhi and Narendra Modi, whom would you like to pick up as the Prime Ministerial candidate? But at least on both the questions in our data, in the second question, Narendra Modi still leads 2:1. And in the first question, actually in Uttar Pradesh, Akhilesh Yadav's name comes way above Mr. Rahul Gandhi. So it depends on what exactly the wordings of the question and how it is mapped. So that's why I am just telling you the data, what we are getting.
Okay, let Sanjay Kumar explain his data. Sanjay ji, what was the specific question? Because so much is being made of that CSDS answer. What was your question? What was your response? And did the response surprise you?
For the prime ministerial question, we ask a very simple question without offering any names, that who would you like to see as the next Prime Minister of India? And we note down the investigator note down the name which is offered by different people in the survey. That's a very simple question which we have asked. I think since Samajwadi Party and Congress has done so well in UP, so the preference for the Prime Minister also goes along with the party which people like to vote for.
So your data actually shows Rahul Gandhi ahead of Prime Minister Modi in Uttar Pradesh, Sanjay Kumar?
Sorry?
Your data actually shows RG ahead of Prime Minister Modi in Uttar Pradesh in terms of popularity at the moment?
I am hearing a lot about that data. I have to look at that data carefully because I would not be able to confirm this on this show right away. I'm not in Delhi, I'm in London at the moment for the last couple of days. So I am just trying to recheck the data because a couple of people have asked me about this question. I'm not sure whether this is, but I won't be surprised if that's the case because the preference for Samajwadi Party and Congress is almost equal compared to the preference for BJP. I'm talking about the vote share of the two parties. And that is the case because that's very clear in the vote share estimate of the two alliances.
Ajay, look, Sanjay Kumar is not sure at the moment whether the data is correct, but it's been published in national newspapers. And if it is true, if it is true, then that is quite alarming from the BJP's perspective, because never in any poll, anywhere in North India except Punjab or Kashmir, has Rahul Gandhi's popularity been more than that of Prime Minister Modi. And if that's the case in Uttar Pradesh, as Sanjay Kumar's data seems to suggest, what are you making of this?
Well, Rahul, first of all, always remember this. This was the election for their existence, Samajwadi Party and Congress. They knew that if they fail this time, their existence is in danger. So they managed to hold to their existence. I admit to our fault, and we are going through it, and we'll rectify
No, what
it.
are your faults? Let's do a public post-mortem. What have you understood of the verdict in Uttar Pradesh and elsewhere? What went wrong?
No, definitely a low turnout voting, a prolonged voting period of 2 months, extreme heat, anti-incumbency towards the candidate, inability to get the people out and vote. All these things, all these factors are in accounts, and we are pondering more and more. And we are a party who always introspect, whether in win or whether in defeat. And let me tell you that now when this existence factor for them is over, let's not forget that in Uttar Pradesh, whether it is Samajwadi Party or it is Bahujan Samaj Party, they have won the land from Congress, not from BJP. BJP land is secured. Now when this land is again being reclaimed by the Congress, 2 years is quite a long time in politics, and we are going to see elections in 2027, which is 3 years from now. It's a long time in politics. And if the reclaiming of the land continues, like what the Yatra is going to take out in all the 403 assembly segment, let's see what the reaction from my friend Akhilesh will be.
Let
Because
Juhi
nobody
Singh
wants
respond.
to
आप
give the
लड़ाई
land back.
कराने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं यूपी के लड़कों में. He's saying as Congress
मैं लड़ाई
flexes
नहीं,
its
मैं तो
muscle,
practical fact बता रहा हूँ.
as Congress starts to think we are back, Uttar Pradesh is our Karam Bhumi and all that bombastic talk takes charge, then there'll be automatic ladai that Akhilesh and Rahul were riding on the same cycle, that cycle will trip and fall. He's trying to get you to fight. Juhi Singh.
Rahul, I think we are all responsible out here, and coordination and working together is a part of life and political life, and it's a team. So I don't think there is an issue. They have won Rai Bareli and Amethi, and I think the Samajwadi Party, even when they were campaigning, there was with them, and even when they take out their yatra, the Samajwadi Party will stand by them. So I mean, thank you for the lease of life to Mr. Ajay Alok, but as he says that we were fighting for our existence, but we worked hard, and we worked
No, you have to thank
hard
the
with
Indian voter.
organization, the
I
candidates.
think these are numbers which are bigger than what even
That
the
we've
Congress
already
was
done.
expecting. You have to thank the voter जिसने खड़ा कर दिया India Alliance को. But Javed Ansari, we've seen the Congress in the past get carried away. You know, it happened in 2009 when the Congress won 21 seats, I think, in Uttar Pradesh, and then suddenly Rahul Gandhi and everybody else was convinced that Congress is back in UP. You know, it can also prove to be just a false start. You know, it looks much more than it actually is, that they ignore what was local to this election and try and make it seem bigger than it actually is.
So Rahul, most people with even moderate intelligence learn from their mistakes. And therefore, I have reason to believe that the Congress knows better this time. They've learned from their mistake. They know that the only way, that they're still very, very far from standing on their own feet. They have to ride along with the Samajwadi Party if they want to be in the power reckoning, because they were outside, absolutely on the periphery. Of course, now Mayawati has taken that position. And as far as the upmanship is concerned, Ms. Ajay, my friend, was talking of upmanship and of fissures developing between Rahul and Akhilesh. Well, he first needs to look on the fissure. He first needs to mend the fissures that are developing between the Home Minister and the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh.
अरे आप उनकी लड़ाई करा रहे थे तो आपकी लड़ाई करा रहे, saying that Lucknow and Delhi are not on the same page. Ajay Alok.
They're not. They're not. And the role that Mr. Bansal played in the ticket distribution.
Okay, let
less
Ajay
people
Alok
listen to-
respond. आप उनकी लड़ाई करा रहे हो, ये तो आपको आईना दिखा के आपकी लड़ाई करा रहे हैं. Let him respond.
No, I'm not making anybody fight, but let me tell you one thing, Rahul.
Go on, Ajay Alok.
Yeah. So I'm telling you, I'm not making them fight, but let me tell you one thing very clearly: कि काट की हांडी बार-बार नहीं चढ़ती. You have won seats this time because of by setting up negative narratives, by setting up narratives like 1 lakh rupees, khatakat, and we have seen how lines and we were queued up outside the Congress office by claiming those money, by setting up false narrative like Arakshan खत्म हो जाएगा, संविधान खत्म हो जाएगा. This won't work every time. It has worked for this time because people will see Narendra Modi, how he performs in Narendra Modi 3. And people will see them also, that how do they perform as an winning MP. Do you expect Rahul Gandhi to go to Raebareli even 5 times in a year? Let's have a bet on that. So there is a lot of question to be answered.
Javed, do you see a change, Rahul Gandhi? This is old criticism ke jaate nahi hai Amethi, jaate nahi hai Raebareli.
I've really seen a change Rahul Gandhi who does khatakat. And then he runs away fatafat. Right from 4 June onwards, they have been setting up a negative narrative. Oh, Narendra Modi has lost the mandate. It's a fractured mandate. Come on, it's an NDA who has won 293. In spite of BJP losing.
Okay, let Javed ji respond to it. Javed saab.
We are still the largest party. We are the largest and the Kamandia.
Ajay ji, do me the courtesy. At least do me the courtesy. I have been asked the question. Yes,
Actually,
Rahul.
my audio is not working properly. Please go ahead.
Rahul,
No,
what
we
is the
hear you
question?
well. Javed, very quickly. Will Rahul work harder or will he take off for a long holiday right away?
No, I think he's a changed person. He must work harder because he now there's no other alternative. And he says, Alok ji, my friend is right. He says, काट की हांडी बार बार नहीं चढ़ती. He's realized कि अयोध्या में जो काट की हांडी एक बार दो बार चढ़ा थी, वो तीसरी बार नहीं, इस बार नहीं चली.
Okay, Sanjay Kumar has his hand up. He's been able to check his Excel sheet and he now has the answer for us. Sanjay ji.
Yes. Rahul, you're right. Rahul Gandhi's popularity is 36% as PM's choice in UP and Narendra Modi's popularity is 32%. So you're right.
सर आप किससे बात कर रहे थे? अगर ये है तो ये बहुत बड़ी बात है. अजय आलोक will say अरे कुछ भी बोल रहे हैं. अब रिजल्ट आ गया. अब संजय जी अपना एजेंडा चला रहे हैं.
Please be kind to my friend Ajay Alok ji. You know, you give him sleepless
Let
nights.
Sanjay Kumar respond because this is, if more polls go and find this, it's a very big development. What makes you think that this is right? Because nobody in the BJP and many who are watching will say, really? Rahul Gandhi is more popular than Prime Minister Modi in Uttar Pradesh? Is that even possible? Sanjay Kumar?
It is possible because as you see how the vote has shifted in favor of India Alliance. So in the India Alliance, you have Samajwadi Party and Congress as the two major players. And if people have preferred that party over BJP in UP, it is not unusual to figure out that more people are preferring Rahul Gandhi as the Prime Minister because Akhilesh Yadav is not seen as a leader for the Prime Minister because he is leader of a regional party. So I'm not surprised, and it's just a 4% lead, but it's a really, really big achievement in terms of Rahul Gandhi's popularity, going up from nowhere to 36% in UP and Prime Minister Modi trailing by 2%. Also remember,
Yashwant Deshmukh, in your poll as well, is his, in the weekly tracker, do you see a increase in his popularity or do you think it's a one-off just for Sanjay Kumar's poll with CSDS?
In our tracker, we are not finding that. I would still maintain that in our tracker, in the UP numbers, Akhilesh numbers are more than Rahulji's number. But
you know, one of the other things that Rahul Gandhi said at Priyanka fought from Varanasi.
Because
Yes.
it's a question which is verbatim that Sanjay Bhai has asked. I would love to know the number for Akhilesh and Yogi both in UP numbers. That would show some light on that because my assumption is because it is done during the post poll of Lok Sabha, the Akhilesh numbers might have shifted to Rahul Gandhi's number. That's why the numbers have kind of crossed the 30% mark. And as Sanjay Bhai said that they have pulled almost 40% mark, in that I will not be surprised. But I would love to know the number.
Was
of
Akhilesh also listed as an option in that or not, Sanjay Kumar?
As I mentioned, Rahul, we don't list any name. It's an open-ended question, and the question is very simple. Who would you like to see as the next Prime Minister of India? And as you would imagine, that when it is a national election, it's a Lok Sabha election. On one side, it's Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and the nearest rival has always been Rahul Gandhi. Nearest, yes, he has been at a long distance. Even nationally, if you look at the figures, nationally also, still Prime Minister Modi's popularity is at 41 and Rahul Gandhi's popularity is 27%. And all the other leaders nationally are at the 2%, 3%, 4%. So since the question is directly about Prime Minister, I am not surprised that even in UP, because Rahul Gandhi is seen as the most important challenger to Narendra Modi. So all other
Final
leaders
question,
would be faring
Yashwant
in,
Deshmukh, Rahul Gandhi said at Rai Bareli that had Priyanka contested from Varanasi, it would have made the election even tighter and that Priyanka may have won. Do you think that's the case, or do you think Ajay Rai actually worked because he's a low-profile candidate? Had it become more high stakes, the Prime Minister would have got more sympathy and support and possibly done even better?
Well, I think a lot has been said about Prime Minister's margin coming down, but it is largely has to do with the contest becoming bipolar, because if you look into the Prime Minister votes, they are more or less the same. He has polled more than 53 or 54% even this time. It's more or less the same as the last time. So it is just that the bipolarization, what has driven UP across UP, that has taken the Congress and the Samajwadi Party alliance kind of up. And honestly speaking, I don't see them fighting and going away, because I think between Akhilesh and Rahul, their roles are quite cut. You know, Akhilesh doesn't have any national ambition and Rahul Gandhi doesn't have a local ambition. So
Okay.
as long as they understand each other, I don't see there should be an issue. But you never know with Congress. You know, I mean, I will go by the word of Javed Bhai that they would learn and they would go and with that. But by and large, history has told us that every time Congress has got one cylinder of oxygen to revive, they have gone really out of the way to ensure that they try to grab their lost vote bank, which invariably hurts the partners, because all their partners have actually grown from the Congress vote bank. So
ठीक है, अब आप भी अजय वाली
it's a
बात बोल
kind
रहे हो,
of
but
a
that's
just-
correct. You know what this means basically is that Indian politics in the next 5 years will be a lot more exciting and more fiercely contested than it was in the last 10. And that really makes our jobs that much more exciting and fascinating. And that's what we intend to do, not take sides, show you all sides of the perspective, bring in the likes of Ajay Alok to present their party's point of view. Juhi countered that with her party's point of view. And I say, let 100 ideas bloom and let democracy win. For the time being, Javed Ansari, Sanjay Kumar, if you're enjoying a holiday, sorry for having pulled you out of it. Thank you for joining us. Yashwant Deshmukh, thank you as well. And Ajay Alok and Juhi Singh, let's get ready for some kushti in Uttar Pradesh. It'll be very exciting. It'll be interesting to see whose lotus blooms and whose tire gets punctured or whose tire bashes on the roads of Uttar Pradesh. Very, very fascinating indeed. I'm slipping into a break. When we come back, stage set for star-studded Naidu, Pawan Kalyan swearing in from Prime Minister Modi to superstars Chiranjeevi and Ram Charan. Several VIPs will attend the event. We'll have details on the other side.
What you doing? Yeah, you're getting me down. Got me looking at you, scared in the crowd.
Why do you want to move like that? Why you want
Coming now, coming for you. Let me show you why.
Introducing Motorola Edge 50 Fusion. Own the spotlight.
विक्रम आ तो गए, जाओगे कैसे?
बड़े आराम से।
देखिए ये देश
हेलो, मैं आ रहा हूँ और हाँ, भगा कर ले जाऊंगा। सिक्योरिटी! भैया, भाग गए, पकड़ो उनको। हेलो, बोला था ना, भगा कर ले जाऊंगा। विक्रम!
एक हिंट तो देते,
हिंट।
बड़े आराम से।
सुप्रीम के 9000 से भी ज्यादा प्लम्बिंग एंड ड्रेनेज प्रोडक्ट्स और वाटर टैंक्स बने हैं क्वालिटी रॉ मटेरियल्स एंड इनोवेटिव डिजाइन से। सुप्रीम टोटल पाइपिंग सोल्यूशन, जीवन भर का साथ।
No faking, no fuzzy, no falsehoods. Unbought, unfake live viewership.
The India Today election intelligence dashboard is rocking it.
On India's big verdict day, India Today's viewership super smash.
If you looked at the voting percentage, it was less than 50%.
This is a real wake-up call for the double engine. Thriller in the election results, landslide for the #1 election channel.
पूरा देश देखना चाह रहा है और सुनना चाह रहा है कि राहुल जी रहेंगे कहां से। तो हम लोगों की तो यही है कि वो यूपी के रायबरेली को ही चुने। उसके वजह से जो है सटा हुआ जो अमेठी है उसका भी जो 5 साल से जो गति रुकी हुई थी उसके विकास की, वो विकास की गति बहुत तेजी से वो आगे ले जाएंगे। रायबरेली को भी, लखनऊ भी बढ़ेगा, अमेठी भी बढ़ेगा।
जो लोग उन्हें पप्पू कहते थे, आज उन्होंने दिखा दिया पप्पू क्या चीज है। हमारी नेता सोनिया जी ने कहा था कि मैं रायबरेली को अपना पेटा सौंप रही हूँ, तो सौंप दिया और यहाँ की जनता ने कबूल लिया कि राहुल जी हमारे नेता हैं, तो राहुल जी यहीं रहेंगे। आप
देखिएगा